podcast of Jen on the Real.
Everybody, thank you so much for watching. And as we have you on this podcast right now, please take a minute and subscribe and share and like us on Instagram and Facebook. We appreciate your views and your comments. We've been getting a few comments.
Yes, so I thought nobody was watching us, which is why I speak so freely sometimes because I'm like, who cares? Nobody's watching. But apparently people are watching.
They are. I get pretty good comments too.
So we get comments and DMs, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying it, and I'm glad we're making you laugh and be aware
Give
of.
us suggestions as well. We'd be happy to improve, where improvement is needed. And sometimes
Listen,
we
we take criticizing very well.
Yeah.
So criticize
We can
us.
handle this.
We can handle. We're
We
big
can
girls.
handle any battle.
We
which
have
leads
have
us
tough
to-
skin. We're not sensitive
Yeah.
like those other people.
Yep. And this leads us to today's topic, actually.
Which is what
Talk about self-defense in the industry.
okay. Whoopah!
Yeah. Look at me hitting my mic.
Don't be hitting the mic now.
Everything you got to watch out for.
Okay, so the reason why we're bringing this topic up because we've had a few stuff come up. Literally just came up for me last week. Agents, which she was so scared. Luckily, nothing happened. But yeah, especially there are a lot of women realtors out there, and there are stuff that, I mean,
That happened.
realtors get
Yeah.
killed.
Yeah.
So it's important that everyone is safe out there, and
Well,
they take the
The right precautions, yeah.
that because this one she was like, I messed up. I shouldn't have gone there by myself. I mean,
Well, but this industry, in real estate, really, you're scheduling with somebody you haven't seen. They call you. You don't really know if they're legitimate.
well, in this case, the house
Or
was
they-
so she never. Oh,
Well, but house empty or not, like you're going there by yourself, with some stranger that you don't know, that at least the first few times, and it's quite scary. And sometimes it's not even that you're showing the property; you're just going to a property, but maybe a listing or something
right,
like
you
that.
don't know.
Yeah, and you just don't know if there's a squatter or anything.
Or maybe somebody got the lockbox combination and it's gonna
Yeah.
pretend to be a realtor and then see you there. I know realtors sometimes give out lockbox combos, which
Yeah.
they're not supposed to.
No.
For safety reasons as well. So yeah, I think it's important that everyone is safe out there. So it's funny because what happened to this realtor of mine, something like so that you would think so like minute. So we needed a certificate. There were conditions, place the grass, cut the grass, and I guess paint the asphalt, the driveway black. So she went over there because the first of all, the seller side has been really awkward. The realtor like literally told off the lender in all caps on an email just because she was overwhelmed with the emails and phone calls and she couldn't like deal. And this is a person that's been in real estate over 20 something years.
Huh.
So I personally, my opinion is that she's menopausal. I think that's like her little bipolarness.
And she probably just can't handle it at the moment.
And I'm going to tell you why I think that, which I'm kind of right. So, not that I'm blaming it, but it does have a lot to do with it. I'm just saying, people get a little loopy. So, like, she went over there just to take pictures to see, because the lady told her, oh, let me see if you can get me some estimates. The lady got there and went off on her,
Yeah.
like, cursing at
So
was
wait,
like-
so your friend is the buying agent.
she's a buyer's agent.
Mhm.
And the lady was here, get the beep out of here. Like, her she says that she was so scared that she turned on her video to record,
Oh my.
and the way she was talking to her in her face, and then she was like, I guess she saw scared because she said she even got teary eyed
Yeah.
because she was like, oh, done. Why am
my.
I like? She didn't expect,
The reaction.
a little off action. The other realtor, and then I guess she noticed, and she goes, oh, and she hugged her like.
Oh my
Like-
gosh, complete flip. It's like
Completely. Oh, but and then she
bipolar.
said, come inside the house. And she didn't want to go inside the house and she was scared. Text me, call me, please.
Hmm.
And it was like Friday. I was like, okay. And I call her and she's like, stay on the phone with me, please. So I stayed on the phone and then I'm like, put her. And then she literally flipped. It was like literally bipolar.
Oh my.
But then it was like not. Then I started talking days later, and of course, I'm like, oh yeah, this industry is so stressful, blah blah blah. You know me breaking the ice,
Mm-hmm.
and then oh because menopause. And she goes, girl, I know menopause. I'm like, I know. And the funny thing is, I didn't want to tell my realtor, like I didn't want to
Yeah.
blame it on menopause. It has to do with it, and people calling her, and I'm thinking, girl,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
t- because if not, you can't do this job.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but she literally lost it, and she just like, look, I just want to deal with you. I don't want people, sending me so many emails, and I'm like, but we're a title company. Our job is to keep you
Well, and there's so
updated.
many parties. She should know by now.
Yeah, but it was a little scary for her, so
Mm.
she took a shit.
Oh man. And
She
the
didn't even tell her husband. She's like, if I tell my husband,
yeah.
he'll. I've learned a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Never. I told her she has no mace or nothing. I told her I have mace in my house, so I'm gonna give you a thing of mace.
Yeah, I mean, but I guess in a circumstance like that one, it's yes, the lady was going a little insane on her, but what do you do? Like, are you gonna attack
No,
her?
she froze. She froze and she took a step back. But stupid, I went in the house. You know, she could have attacked me in the house, or she was not. The lady doesn't seem stable.
Mm-hmm.
No, and then don't even get me started on the cell. Like so
Really, why she's all over the place,
right.
even with
And
her
so then of
seller.
course I'm like, look, let's work as a team. Let's try to resolve this.
Yeah,
These are not major stuff. Cutting grass,
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
replacing
minor.
grass, and painting a freaking asphalt block. Like it's not that deep, guys.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
like drowning and
In
a
a glass,
couple. And she was driving the listing agent nuts. And I
probably.
even
Yeah,
told the seller, let's
yeah.
close. What are we doing? Let's figure something out. And so we
Well,
figured it out.
fortunately,
Yeah, she thanked
like
me later. Thank God. Wouldn't be closing.
yeah.
So yeah, but it's
In
crazy.
circumstances like those, when you're so nervous, like thinking about the buyer agent, you do freeze. You don't know what to do. You have random reactions, And I, like, for example, I had an incident when I was on the field, where it was a probate situation. The mother had passed away. The daughter contacted me because I have the certification, and she contacted me about the property. We listed it, and we were about to finish the process. And there's a vehicle that was left behind, to which the keys were left in the mailbox, and I was supposed to go pick that up to give it to the company that was going to pick up the vehicle. Anyway, um, when I make it to the property, at this point the property is vacant. There's nobody there. I make it to the property. The vehicle, I had seen it before. It was in a certain location. And this time the vehicle was in a different spot.
Okay, that was weird.
Yeah, which means that somebody moved the car, except none of the owners, the daughter is not in town. She's in another place, right? So it wasn't her. I go check for the keys in the mailbox. And sure enough, in the mailbox, there was no key.
Hmm.
So then I'm like, I'm freaking out. I walk inside of the property, and the property is vandalized.
No way.
And now I'm like, I'm
But you
like,
have
at that point, yes, I had already,
clothes and everything?
I can't remember, we had already closed or we were about to close. It was
Oh my
one or the other.
God.
But it was vandalized, and I walk into the home, and I'm walking into, which I probably shouldn't have, because
Once you saw it
once you
vandalized,
see something out of place, you don't want to stay there. I actually walked into the home. This is the freeze moment where you just don't know what you're doing. I walk into the home, I'm looking around, and I'm entering every room in extreme fear that someone, and I'm not in a
that's
good
gonna.
neighborhood.
But
I'm
you're
in a
never
neighborhood.
been in there by
No, it
yourself.
gets
That was very poor
yeah.
judgment on your
It
part.
was. It was. And
Just gotta
no,
say that. Let
and
me
it
throw
gets
that out
it
there.
gets but anyway, look around the house, whatever. The back door, the sliding door was open as well. So I started closing everything. Nobody was in the house, fortunately. I walk outside, and I'm looking out front, and there's a white van and an orange car facing each other in the neighbor's home.
Oh
And
God.
I'm like, something's off. I had those little spidey senses. Something's off. And I look out, and I'm about to get in my car. And sure enough, the van and the orange car come to the driveway and block me.
Oh my God. I would die.
I was dying. I
I
was
would die.
dying.
Movie.
Yeah. And I was freaking out, and I knew that something was wrong.
Oh my God.
I know you guys are having a lot of fun, but we have to mention our sponsors. Our sponsors for this show are the Curse Team and New World Title, and we deliver results on everything real estate. So here's where the best part comes through. I get in my car, and I'm just keeping it calm, and a guy walks out of the orange car and presses the button of a key, and the car flashes its lights. So he was the one who stole the key.
But was he there to pick up the car?
It wasn't for him.
Oh, damn.
He was the one who stole the key and moved the car.
I hope you didn't get out of the car. You.
No. I put down my window. At this point, I can't even go anywhere. What am I going to do? Run? You know?
Yeah,
So I put the window down, and I look out at him and I go, I need those keys. I'm supposed to turn those in. And he just gave me the key.
So who the hell was that?
He was the neighbor. He's not a good person, you know. He's not a good person. Eventually, the daughter told me, like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe he grabbed it." Whatever, said all the stories.
No way.
Yeah, you could tell he wasn't. He looked like
his demeanor.
Yeah, like a gangster or whatever you want to call it, you know. And he just gave me the key, and got in the car, and left.
Oh my God, how scary!
And I was trembling.
No, trembling
and I
too.
went and stopped at a McDonald's nearby, and I had to call David, but I was freaking out.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And, you know, you just, to my point is, sometimes you just don't know what you're doing. But I guess the best thing to do is not to overreact, because nowhere to go.
Yeah, you really got to stop and think, okay, what are my options here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But try, I mean, I know it's hard because I can imagine if I open the door, vandalized. Right, your first is, oh shit, let me walk in and see what's going on. And you're not even thinking at that point, like somebody might be in here.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I thought that,
especially in a bad area still here in Miami. Yeah, because I remember I went to go see a house one time for an investment, and it was not in a good area. And they're like, yeah, just go in there. Like, I guess I had somebody like to stay there. He sleeps in and I was like, I don't want to just walk in. Oh, but he shouldn't be there. So I just didn't want to walk in. And I remember I went, I was like, hello, is anybody home? And then I literally, like, you know how they do those Instagram things? I'll show you this house in 30 seconds. I literally did that house. I was like, ooh, let me see the house.
And that was it, getting
and
out of
in
the
and
way.
out.
Yeah.
And it was, I got in my car and left.
Yeah, no, I mean, we have scary moments. It's just, it's unpredictable moments. You know, even men go through some stuff. I know somebody, a friend of ours, actually, and he had gone to a property also because he would purchase for investments and stuff like that. Wasn't in the best neighborhood either. He walks into this property, and somebody pulled a gun on him and stole his watch. He gave him his watch and everything.
Wow, so he got robbed.
Yeah, yeah. And fortunately, he I don't think he fought back. He just like, here, just take this, and then whatever, the person left. But yeah,
I feel like every realtor should at least carry mace.
Yeah.
You know, with them, just in case. You know, at least it gives you enough time to run away, get in your car, get out.
100%.
You know what I mean? She's a realtor, and she carries a gun.
I used to too, but
the gun is, if you're gonna whip that out,
you better use it.
You don't know if the other person's gonna whip one out.
Well, and then there's that. It's like you don't want to murder somebody. You know what I mean? But then at the same time, if you don't, and you just you hurt a limb or something like that, the person can claim something else, and then
you could get in more trouble.
Yeah, so it's like, whose life are you defending at that point? But at the same time, you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's bad. So everyone has to be careful, especially, I want to say it's not just Miami. Let's be real. I mean, there's crime everywhere. There's good people and bad people everywhere. It doesn't matter where you're at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Although People carry guns and they will shoot you,
Yeah, yeah. You know, you
like
just gotta be.
Texas.
The ideal situation would be, okay, I'll show you this property. Send me your ID, and then when you get to the place, ensure that the person matches the ID.
No, so the fraud.
Yeah,
Realtors who have taken listings, and they're not dealing with the actual seller,
yeah, yeah.
and they're all excited,
They're processing a transaction that's not even.
right? And then when they can't, we've had to our office and we've been able to stop
It
them.
happens a lot with rentals. People trying to rent out properties that are not theirs, that are absentee owners.
Yes, and it happens a lot with lots
Mm-hmm.
land.
Mm-hmm.
Because imagine you don't have to really go to the you don't have to go
There's
to the
nobody there.
land. Like it's not like you have to do an open house.
Yeah,
So
there's
it's a little,
nobody ever there.
yeah. And I've heard about the rental thing.
Mm-hmm. The rental's a big deal. A lot of
Yeah,
people
a lot
rent
of
that are absentee owners, and the tenant doesn't have any idea, and unfortunately the owner, there's like a weird situation. I think if the tenant is there, you know, obviously the owner has to evict them, like they're
right.
already in the property, so then there's that process, but then there's also the tenant has no
Has a right.
I don't
Well,
think it's valid because there's no valid signature.
Okay, but here's the thing. Like if I'm gonna sign something, I'm gonna check if that's the correct person. And a lot of people don't do
they
that.
don't.
They don't check. They don't read things. They just assume, okay, they put this person on there. It's like, no, check.
Yeah.
Especially if it's an LLC
Mm-hmm.
or a corporation.
Yeah.
You need to go in there and check. And
Who
ask
the
for
officers are.
right. You need to ask for an operating agreement to see
Mm-hmm.
who is in charge of signing for that. If not, you have to get everyone's signature.
Well, that's why representation is so important, because a lot of people just don't do that, you know. And I will say that we could be, you know, I've been guilty of that. Like, okay, I'll see you can you can be deceived so easily. You can see the name on the public records, you can see the name on the contract and say, okay, it matches. These are, you know what I mean? They could sign as if. But then, you know, do you go to the next level and say, can I see your ID and ensure that you're the actual person that can transfer this property to me? You know what I mean? Or
Right.
something like that. So it's like, you know, and then people get offended because it's like personal information. But at the same time, it's a big
Well,
thing.
the title companies always ask for ID, and
Mhm.
now we at least in New World we have
Well, that's different.
we
yeah.
have like we have this plan verifies that that ID is a valid ID,
Mhm.
and that person is who they say they are. That we
Mhm.
take, and you'd be surprised. And don't assume because there's an LLC, you have to look at the LLC. You
Yeah.
have to look it up because if you sometimes only one person signing, but if all three are supposed to sign, then the contract is not valid,
Yeah.
and neither is the
You have to see what the operating agreement says and
Right.
who has most power.
yeah. Because if not, if you go into like Sunbiz or whatever, yeah, I'll name three people, manager, or whatever, but
Mhm.
you don't know who
But you
really.
don't know what the actual order of.
And you'd be surprised. Nobody has operating agreements.
No, I know. They
And
just create a
it's
corporation
Is if you create a corp,
with partnerships. Yeah.
please do an operating agreement. It'll save you headaches. What if somebody dies?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's so many things that can go wrong.
Yeah, yep, 100%. I mean, there's so much to that. Did you see, on a side note, did you see the information on the agent that was arrested for sending too many emails?
Oh my God, I saw that.
How many emails were they? I can't even remember.
Like it was like she said, like it was like a lot. Like not even I didn't even know how to send out that many emails.
Is too much marketing that bad?
Yes, I guess that's another
Maybe
show.
text messages.
That's another
We'll
show.
talk about that another time. I just thought it was a little crazy because she got arrested for it.
God, like arrested. I think that's a little too far, but you know, you can't blame a girl for trying to get work, man.
Yep. Well, that was a complete side note. It just came to mind. I want to kind of tighten the knot here a little bit and give you guys at least 3 tips on what to do to keep yourself safe when you're out there, both as a consumer and as a realtor.
Yes,
Because
because even consumers are in danger.
yeah, so a lot of people can claim that they are a professional and they are not, you know, or that they have an active license and they're not, or that the contract is valid or
Oh,
not.
by the way, that happened this week to me. So somebody sent in a contract to one of my realtors, and the realtor checked, and the guy didn't have a license.
Mm.
At least not an
And
active
he was
license.
pretending to be a
And he
realtor.
was like, he didn't have an active license. I guess he had a license at one
Mm-hmm.
point, but it wasn't active anymore. And she's like,
You can't.
you
You
can't.
can't practice.
You can't do that. Oh, okay, I have to give it to my broker. Do you have a broker? So yeah, check the licenses, people.
Yeah, it's important. So, what's a good tip that you would want to give everybody? Like one big tip on safety.
I always like to do a drive-by.
Yeah.
So whenever I've gone to a house, I always do a drive-by. I really, when I'm going to a house that I know it's not in a good neighborhood, I try to go with someone.
Mm-hmm.
I always take someone with me. Obviously, I look at houses as an investment. Try to take somebody with me. I try not to go alone, but I'm not gonna lie many times. But I do carry mace with me.
Okay.
So-
That's probably the best suggestion you can take. Is to
Yes,
take
I always
somebody with
carry
you.
mace with me, and when I walk with it in my hand,
Yeah.
like a cycle.
Yeah. No, but I mean, you have to
Like,
be ready. You can put them on your key tag.
Yeah,
You know,
and that, and everything.
and lipsticks and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
You be like,
007. I will say definitely the ID situation is really important. Like if you're a realtor trying to show a property, I would ask for ID before showing the property just to ensure that the person is valid, or at least have them come meet you at the office first and then, or at
yeah,
a
but-
public place.
So, for
and
instance,
then,
when you do a listing presentation, you most of the time you go to the person's house.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but that's
and on a listing presentation, yeah.
Right.
But for showing,
but even then, every public records. You know what I mean? Verify. People
Yeah.
need to do the extra steps.
yeah. I would also say make sure you tell people where you are.
Yeah.
Just because you have Life 360 or whatever, the phone can be left anywhere. Just make sure you tell people where you are, where you're headed, and but yeah, so those would be that's my tip. And do you have a last one that you want?
Yeah. So one of my friends, what she does is she has somebody on the phone. Like if she's going by herself and she can't go with somebody, she'll have somebody like on the phone with her,
Okay.
like just in case. And obviously they know where she's at.
Yeah.
So she does that. So it's kind of like you're not alone, but you are. But they can hang up and call 911.
Yeah.
And they know where you're at.
Yeah. There are places that'll teach you self-defense too. I would say having at least the minimal knowledge on self-defense would really be helpful in a circumstance like that. I don't want to, we don't want to scare anybody in the industry, but it is something that happens. It doesn't happen to like all the time. These are like, things that happen sporadically, but you want to be ready. You don't want to be the next person. But yeah, thank you guys for listening in. Again, subscribe and like us on Instagram and Facebook.
Come on, man. Like us. Bye. Have a great day.
Bye.